Welcome to another episode of the Chicago Business Review. I am your host, Young Lee, and I am going to be mixing it up a little bit today, and I'm going to share with you the one biggest lesson that I've learned in my 17 years in the real estate industry. So in those 17 years, I've owned my own brokerage. I've sold my brokerage. I have run a top performing team for the last 13 years. I've had a property management company, and I've helped countless families and individuals sell, buy, invest, and rent real estate. And during that time, I want to share with you the biggest lesson that I've learned for you to create wealth in your life. So I'm super excited to dive into this week's episode, and I hope you guys are excited as well. So one thing that I was told was, if you want to make lots of money, sell real estate. If you want to become wealthy, own real estate. And that is what we are going to go over today. So during these 17 years, I've helped a lot of families create wealth by buying a primary residence for themselves and then living in that property, seeing that home appreciate, and then selling it for a profit so that they can use that for the next home that they're looking to buy. But the wealthiest people that I have encountered are all people that buy and hold real estate long term. So today, we're going to go over the 3 reasons why buying and investing in real estate is the number one way for you to create wealth in your life. So let's go over those 3 reasons right now. So reason number 1 as to why buying and holding real estate is the best way to invest your money to create wealth is you only need to pay a fraction of the amount for that asset, but you still get control of that asset. So let me explain a little bit further. So if you wanted to buy stock, right? If you wanted to buy Google stock or Apple or some spiders, you need all of that capital to buy however many shares of stock you wanted to buy. So if you wanted to buy 1 share of a stock and it was $100, so if you wanted to own $100,000 of stock, you would need to deposit $100,000 into your trading account and buy all of that stock. Or you can buy real estate and leverage buying that asset. So what I mean is, for most purchases of real estate, you only need to put a fraction of the money down, and you can get a loan from a bank or a lending institution for the remaining balance. Now, typically for investment properties, you need somewhere in the range of 20% down payment to buy that asset, but then you can get a loan for 80% of that property, and you are still the owner of that property. So that is one of the best ways that you can buy an asset with only a fraction of the money down, and yet you are in control of that asset. So if you were looking to buy a $100,000 property, let's say, you would have to only bring $20,000, and then you would get financed for that other $80,000. And yet you are the owner of that property. Now, granted, the lender is going to have a lien against that property, but you are still technically the owner of that property. So that's reason number one as to why investing in real estate is such a great tool for building wealth. Now, the second reason why owning real estate is the best way to create wealth long-term is you can have someone else pay down your debt while also creating cash flow for yourself. So what I mean by that is, again, in our example, if you were to buy an asset or a property for $100,000, right, you would put $20,000 down and you would have a loan for $80,000. Now, you want to make sure you identify a property where the rental income for that property will exceed whatever your monthly expense is. So in this case, that $80,000 mortgage, right? So as long as your rent exceeds your payments, the excess that you get would be your positive cash flow that you are generating from that asset every month. So let's say you own a property and the mortgage payment is $500 a month, and you are able to rent out that property for $1,000 a month. Now, $500 of that rent will go to paying down your debt, and the other $500 is just positive cash flow that you are getting month in and month out. Now, what's great about this is, one, you're having someone else pay down your debt while you own that asset, and you've only put 20% down to own that asset. And then your tenant is paying down that other 80% for you, right? And the other benefit is that you are generating positive cash flow for not really putting in that much extra work. So you find a tenant, you rent it out for more than whatever your monthly output is, and that excess is going to be positive cash flow while your tenant is also paying down your debt every month. And eventually, that asset will be paid off completely because you will have continued to rent out that property. And since that rent far exceeds your monthly expense, you will always have somebody paying down your debt for you. And eventually, you will have that 80% all paid for, and then you own that asset free and clear with only investing 20% to purchase that asset. And while you're getting that debt paid down, you are also hopefully generating positive cash flow each and every month. So that's the second reason why buying long-term real estate is such a great avenue for building wealth. And the third reason that buying long-term real estate investments is a great strategy for building wealth is not only do you only need to put a fraction of the money down, not only do you have someone else paying down your debt for you while also handing you over positive cash flow each month, but the third reason is that asset will also appreciate over time. So while somebody is paying down your debt, every year your property should go up in value, if not every year, over a longer period of time. History tells us that home prices always go up. And the reason why is it is a finite asset, meaning that there is only a finite amount of land in this world, and therefore there's only a certain amount of land that properties can be built on. So when you have a finite asset like land or a precious metal like gold or platinum or silver because you can't make more of it, the value always increases over time. The same thing happens with real estate. And even after people bought at the peak of the market, back before the housing collapse, anybody who bought in 2003, 2004, 2005, if they have that asset still to this day, they should be able to sell that asset for more than they purchased it. So getting an asset that also appreciates over time is such a huge benefit. And sometimes you're going to see large amounts of appreciation during that time. So if you want to create a path for financial freedom for your future, you want to start investing in long-term real estate investing right now. They always say the best time to have planted a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. That is the same adage when you're talking about real estate investing. If you didn't start before, the best time to start is right now. And the way that you can do that is you want to make sure that you align yourself with a team of professionals that have a lot of experience in this field. So there are also great books out there where you can learn about real estate investing and the benefits of long-term rentals. But another great way to get into it is you find a real estate professional that has experience working with investors, knowing the market, knowing what the rental rates are, and what other expenses you are going to incur. So you want to make sure that you buy an asset where the income far exceeds your monthly output, and that excess is going to be your positive cash flow. Now, the great thing about real estate investing is you can do it over and over and over again, and you only need a fraction of the money to buy the next asset, just like we explained in point number 1. So make sure you find a great team of lenders, real estate brokers, property managers, and if you don't know somebody, please reach out to me. I would love to help you on that journey, because owning real estate is the best way for you to build wealth for your future, because number 1, you get to own the asset with only putting a fraction of the money down, typically only 20% of the asset price. Number 2, you are having someone else pay down your debt for you while you're also creating positive cash flow from that asset. So if you're generating $500 a month, if you pick up 10 investment properties, now you are generating $5,000 in passive income every month. And lastly, your property should continually appreciate in value over time, and therefore give you even more equity into that property. And you can leverage these properties to then buy other properties. And that's a strategy that's a little bit more advanced. And if you guys have any questions about buying and owning investment properties, please, if you don't know anyone, reach out to me. You can reach me on social media, on Instagram. My handle is younglee.me, or you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or email me directly. My email is young, YOUNG, at THEYLG.com. So please send me a message. Let me know if you're interested, or just leave a comment below and just leave the word investing down there, and I will make sure that we connect so that I can help you on this journey. Because The wealthiest people that I know all have long-term real estate investments. And I wanted to share this tip with you because this is something that I practice myself and something that has been hugely beneficial in my life. And I've seen through my property management business, through helping people rent and buy properties, that there are opportunities out there for you to generate wealth and cash flow at the same time. So I hope you guys found this episode valuable and helpful. If you guys have any questions, like I said, on how to get started, where to find resources, or you want to partner up so that you can get into the real estate investing game, again, reach out to me. You can reach me on all social media platforms or leave a comment below, and I'll be happy to connect with you. We could set up a time to just discuss and go over what your wants and desires are so that we can build out a specific game plan for you. I hope you guys found this episode valuable. If you did, please leave a comment for us. We really appreciate your feedback so that we know if episodes like this bring you value. If not, we will continue to have interviews as well with high-performing entrepreneurs so that you can find out more about their businesses and how they have succeeded in the business world. But I wanted to share with you some of the tips and tricks that I've learned from my career and my business, and something that I'm focusing on because I've seen countless number of people build their wealth through owning long-term real estate. So thanks so much for listening and watching, guys. I really appreciate all the support and the comments and the shares. And please, if you found this valuable or you know somebody else that might be interested, share this episode with them. That really helps us out, and we really appreciate all of the support. So thanks again for listening. We'll be back next week with another great episode of the Chicago Business Review. But for now, my name is Young Lee, your host, signing off. Have a great day.